Happy Halloween! It's Friday, October 31st, 2025. Okay, let's start off as we typically do by reminding you if you'd like to support our show, you can go to supportourshow.com. Programming notes. I guest hosted, including, well, you know what, you'll get the surprise. But I guest hosted a two-parter on Doug Bielmeyer's The Process podcast where I interview him about the album that he just released that I did the cover for. It is called Electric Rodeo Revival. You can pre-order it now. It releases on November 7th, I believe.
It's a bit awkward, though. It's his show, right?
Yeah, but I've listened to enough that I know exactly how he does it. So I
No, I know that. No, it's weird to be interviewed on your own show. That's all.
Well, it is, except that, you know, when you do that, I think the advantage in his particular case is since he does music interviews, he has a rough idea of kind of and my questions are fairly simple. So, you know, as he created a show about the process of making music, it is usually something that he would know something about. So,
it's just amusing that he was interviewed on his own show.
Well, it is, except that because it's me and it's not really an interview because you know how I am. So it's not I was like, tell me a hurtful story from your childhood, and then cock my head.
Really?
It's not like that.
Is that a typical question that we get to ask?
That's like a story about whenever they're interviewing people, it's like a standard interview question for people who write books about painful subjects and all the prompting stupid questions that they ask. It's how it goes. So
hurtful story about your
so the part one should be out by this show's posting, and I imagine part two will be within a few weeks of that. So that's out. I think that's it as far as show notes for this particular show, right? Yeah.
To my knowledge.
And then the next late night is going to be with Robin Ogden. That's upcoming. That's the first one in November. And then in December is Lost Highway and Inland Empire, which you will be able to see. If you want to see it in its unrestricted form, that would be Patreon. I will put the censored version on YouTube because, if you want to see a big thing saying we can't show any of this, I guess that's the version you're going to get. But I would recommend going to Patreon, signing up for free, and watching it there along with the 70-plus commentaries, apparently, that we now have on there. I wasn't aware of the number.
Oh, they're not on there. No, because you've got them timed out. So they will be there by, 20-something, by 2027?
They exist, but you're going to have to get started now because there's 70-plus of them. I doubt most people are just going to burn through them.
No, you are incorrect. As of this moment, there are 77.
Well, yeah. I said 70-plus.
Yeah, actually, no. By the time this show goes out, there will be 79.
Well, if you include all the other stuff I've put on there, there's 70-something videos on there.
I just meant, the...
But the commentaries, there's probably... Because I wasn't doing them 2 a month for a while, so that's fairly recent. So there's probably 30, I would say, maybe? Because if it's 2 a month from now till mid-2027, what's the math on that? That's 52 weeks. All right, no, sorry. It's 12 months, 2 per month. 2 times 12 is 24. That's all of 2026. Plus 12 is half of 2027. That's 36. And then 2 months left in this year. So that's, what number did I just say? 36? So that's 38. 38 minus, yeah, it's about 29. Yeah, okay, I was close. Yeah. See, my math's not that bad. As long as the numbers are small, I can do math. It's when they start getting bigger. That's when I start falling apart. But if you keep it like 20 or under, pretty good. 20 or over, not so good. That's why I'm not a mathematician or scientist or physicist or anything along those lines.
If you're bored, there's stuff there.
Yeah. If you're bored, if you are bored and desperate for anything to fill time, we have got you covered both on the Patreon and the YouTube channel, where I think we're in the GTA Online stuff right now. On the YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, I don't know what your timeline for video games is at this point.
It's once a week. They come out once a week.
Honestly, it's probably good that it takes so long because we don't really have much going on right now.
Yes, GTA Online Part 17 was the last one. There's probably another Part 17. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise, what do we got? We're playing,
and then it'll be Sniper Resistance, and that's 10 parts, I think. So that's going to be another 2 months right there.
Yeah, but we're on Borderlands 4 right now.
Yeah, Borderlands 4, which will be the next one after Sniper Resistance.
Is a playable game. I mean, give it a quick review since we haven't been playing it for a bit. It's a playable game.
There's the review. It's a playable game.
But it is fairly uninspired.
Yeah, I would say that's true.
You know, like I don't dislike it.
Well, it's Borderlands more.
It's more the same. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the open world thing is probably the biggest twist on it, which is not a huge twist because there are still invisible walls.
You know what the weird thing is with that though? I don't think I like the open world. I feel like I liked that Borderlands had world areas and that you basically had like a series of quests in a world area before reporting back. With the open world, it almost makes me feel like there is no story.
Well, okay. Well, what you're talking about is the dilemma when it comes to open worlds. But I would actually disagree. I think the open world is the best part of it. I like the fact that if I just want to make a left turn and do something, I could just make a left turn. If I don't feel like going into a cave,
or
whatever,
I think it's playable the way it is. It's just that I feel like it's less. It's just less story driven for me.
Well, but here's the thing. Here's the issue with this stuff in general, what you're talking about. The only game, well, I shouldn't say the only. I'm sure there were other ones, but the most well-known game that actually did a stakes-driven narrative correctly that I can think of. Well, okay, I never played. I think the original Dead Rising had a timer, but I never played that one. I believe there was a timer in that, so that's probably another.
Oh, in the world,
the original. Yeah, you had to do something within a time frame or you lost. But Fallout, the original Fallout, had a very tight timeline, and if you did not do the main quest within that timeline, everybody in your vault died. They then removed it in subsequent ones. They didn't remove it. They made it much, much easier because most people failed when it first came out because they didn't know. It wasn't obvious what the actual time frame was. You would get these cutscenes where you would see your people becoming more desperate. But the way games typically are, that's you usually get to the point and it's like, okay, somebody calls you and says, okay, get here right now, and then that's the mission. Or they do that to kind of remind you, but there isn't actually a clock. In Fallout, there was a clock, and it wasn't like you could see it. You didn't know what it was. And then if you just kind of dilly-dally too long, everybody died. And the game went on, but you had failed at your primary mission. Like, everybody was dead. So most games don't have that. They don't have a thing that makes it explicit that there is an actual threat that has a ticking clock to it. Borderlands is no different. None of the games have any impetus to do anything.
I don't feel like there's any real threat at all. Like, I don't even... Honestly, I enjoy playing. It's fun to shoot shit and run around, but you get bored of it. Like, we probably jump in and play for like an hour and a half at most because you're having fun, you're doing stuff, and then you're like, okay, well, this was fun. Like it. I don't.
Well,
I'm not bored. But I'm not driven to play it.
We have to do that because we can't have anything that's going to keep you awake. So we have to play something that's at least
semi-casual.
I know
that. Yeah, I know that. I'm not looking to be hype. I know, but the thing is, there are games that are, interesting and riveting that aren't just adrenaline games, like all the Left 4 Dead type games, right? Those are adrenaline speed games. You don't play those before you go to bed at night. Those things will.
But in fairness, though, Sniper Elite has no time-driven thing either. We could sit there and play a map for 17 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so but that game has a story. It has purpose. You're on a map. You're doing shit.
Oh, sure. But I mean, literally, if we sat there for 10 hours, it's not like the Reich would win. Whereas in reality, if you dick around long enough, like they're gonna fucking win. They'll eventually, something will happen in the background. Like Germany will have taken over, I don't know, Europe. As the time that we sat there going, all right, can I hit that guy from here? Let me try. Oh, no. Let me try it again.
Well, it's only if you play the certain version.
Meanwhile, the general's on there going, motherfucker, you have to stop them from launching the rocket.
If you play the wave missions, that's far more,
Oh, well, but that's not the main campaign.
No,
the main campaign is take as long as you want, the war will wait. That's literally what the goddamn game is. It's like, take as long as you need.
Yeah.
Hitler will sit around driving in a circle until you shoot him in the nuts. Yeah, that's it. Which is great. Don't get me wrong. It is. But, yeah, that's what I'm saying is most games, I mean, even, I can't even think of a game that I've played in recent memory. I'm not, again, saying there isn't one. I'm saying that I've played because before somebody says, well, what about I understand there are games. I can't think of the last game I played that had any actual impetus for me to do anything unless I ran out of other things to do. But there's nothing where you keep getting called and they're like, hey, man, we are going to die. Like nothing happens. So games don't do that because they just don't do it like they.
I mean,
they used to do it somewhat more.
Certain games had timed missions, but they do it far less. Yeah.
But then once you finish the time mission, the likelihood that every mission would be timed was maybe Dead Rising was the only one of recent memory that I can recall. And like I said, I didn't even play it. So, and even Fallout, they realized that, and this is the interesting thing about the Fallout thing, they changed it later because the people behind it said, well, yeah, but we also designed a world that was meant to reward exploration. And if you have a timer, you can't really explore freely. So they kind of...
And that's the thing, is that I'm not saying that the new Borderlands is bad. I'm just saying that when you're playing it... I mean, Borderlands always had kind of a lazy feel to it anyway.
That's what I'm getting at, is I never felt like there was really ever a threat.
With the open world thing, you don't feel like you're reporting to anyone. Because in the other games, you always reported back to someone who is like, there was somebody kind of in charge. With this, you don't even turn quests in. Like when you finish a quest, it auto sends you rewards.
I think that one guy is supposed to be the new Roland, except that he's a pothead. So they changed the nature of the main character. Because he's just like, hey man, we're just sitting here hugging trees and having a great time.
Great that you killed those guys for us.
Come back. Yeah, but take your time. It's a big world, and you don't rush. But so I like that because I never gave a fuck about any of the Borderlands story. I can't even remember anything but Handsome Jack, and the only reason I remember him is because he was an asshole. But it's not like I even remember the story.
I thought the ship thing was fun. I like the fact that you go when there was that the third one? Where you go on the ship, and the ship had its own little world, and then...
Yeah, you could warp. It was neat.
You would warp to different planets that looked different. But, I liked that. I thought it was neat.
But do you remember the story?
Just not even... No, I'm not really.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's why I don't really... But you're right. The ship mechanic was neat. I do miss that. That would be neat to warp to different places. Like, if they did one where it was small planets that you could cover and then warp to the next one...
Yeah.
To have the variety, I would appreciate that. But
you can make
honestly,
an open world...
That's No Man's Sky.
Yeah, well, so you can make an open world game and just have lots of little worlds.
Yeah, well, that's. And then
I think the thing was you were trying to figure out where the coordinates were for the one vault planet that you wanted to warp to. And we didn't have them yet.
Their pathfinding sucks as far as guiding you correctly. They don't do a very good job of that.
Yeah,
that's bad. Yeah.
That's the review. It's just more Borderlands.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So if you liked Borderlands, then this is just more Borderlands. So go ahead.
I do feel like the shooting seems a little tighter. I feel like it's less floaty. Yeah, and the vehicles are nice. I do like the Lobo bikes. Those are nice. because they didn't have that. You could get into a vehicle, but you couldn't just summon one on command. You couldn't generate a motorcycle wherever you were. That's a nice thing, to not have to go find a vehicle, because like you said, you cover more ground more quickly. The floating thing is nice, where you automatically glide. You don't have to earn that or unlock it. You just glide. So they've done little things, but you're right. Centrally, it's the same old shit. I mean, the only thing so far we haven't seen yet is Moxie, and I'm sure she's around. And that's because she hasn't run a bar, I guess, in this, or at least we haven't found the bar yet.
Or we also haven't
unlocked.
Yeah.
That's my other thing, is I want to run around and unlock the whole map, because I feel like there's stuff that's probably there that we can discover, and then we can kind of decide how we want to do it, because there's just large parts of the map we haven't unlocked. But yeah,
but there's invisible walls, we've realized.
Well, that's just a common game mechanic, and I don't know why.
Like, isn't it an open world when there's invisible walls? Games.
Well, it is, because unless it's No Man's Sky or a game of that type, you can't have an infinite map. You can't. You'll run out of memory on your console. But instead of making it look like you can go places, they should have done something to delineate a wall. And that is one thing they did in all the other ones. If you went past the border, you get a big warning, and a gun would shoot you.
And then they'd shoot you.
Yeah, and in this, they just have a giant animal that you can't kill that just rips you to shreds. That the outer border of this world is roamed by the Cyber Panther, and it'll kill you. And that's it. Just, it doesn't have to make sense. Nothing in this fucking game makes sense. But they chose to have you bounce backwards.
But I do like the design.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. The sound effects are good. I like the power that on the character I just chose. I like her superpower. Your guy is a big bruising knight, so
pretty
he's got
much
a cape.
Yeah.
Standard stuff.
Yes, the version I have has a cape, yes.
But you're right. Some of the reviews were like, "Oh, they've revolutionized." No, they haven't.
Oh no, yeah. I read reviews that were going in my head like, "Oh, this is the best version of the game. They've done amazing things," and it was like, "Nah, it's just kind of more of the game, man."
Well, it may be the best version of the game, but there were reviews that made it sound like they had done major changes to it. And I think the biggest change is the open world, but that really doesn't, as you said, change the fundamental nature of the game. It's still running around shooting things with guns that fly all over the place.
Are expectations so broken?
Well, I have no expectations. The problem is there's nothing else for us to play.
Oh, yes. Well, that's
which honestly, isn't really true, because we have Fallout 76, which just added a whole new map, and that's probably what's going to be next.
Let me rephrase it. There's nothing new to play.
Yeah, or there's No Man's Sky, which I do think at this point would actually be a fun game to play, because
it would be an interesting experiment.
Well, now they've got ghost freighters that you can just go explore. I mean, they just keep fucking adding things to that game. At some point, I'm wondering how this company makes money. They just keep adding shit. And people have already said, you've improved the game so massively, it's almost a different game. Are they going to do something else? I mean, I'm not complaining. It's all free, but it just seems like, what is the business model?
I mean, it's
but hey, mining. You know what? Well, maybe, or it's just an anomalous company, that the one company that there's a modern example of that made a tremendous fuck up and is really trying to atone for it. I guess it's possible that there is one. And if there is one, maybe it's Hello Games, because I can't understand why they keep adding stuff to this game without charging for it, when at this point they could well charge for it, because the game is so much better than it was. So I don't understand it. But I don't know. I'm not complaining. Like I said, when every company seems to want to suck as much money from every orifice on your body as possible while giving you less and less, if there is a company that is not following that fucking reprehensible trend,
it confuses
I shouldn't complain. It does. It throws me off. It does. It's the compute cycle can't run. That's fine. I did want to bring something up.
Yeah.
Because I've talked, not in a while, but I talked a while ago about getting rid of all the Amazon electronic shit in my house. All the Alexa stuff's all gone. The last remnant of that. Oh yeah, it's all gone.
I didn't know you were doing that.
Yeah, no, fuck Amazon. We've talked about that before. But I just don't trust the company.
I understand. Yes.
Yeah, I purged all that shit out. The actual speakers have been gone for 2 or 3 or 4 years now. But the only thing we still had left was the Ring doorbell, because I really didn't want...
Amazon owns Ring?
Yeah, and they were doing all this stuff where they were giving video to law enforcement unless you opted out, all kinds of bullshit.
Really? Interesting.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. But the thing is, every doorbell was basically, you have to have a cloud subscription, which I didn't want that.
Yeah.
And there was one company, now there's a couple, but at the time there was one prominent, years ago when I first looked at this, when I got rid of everything else, I had looked around and there was nobody else that had really solid reviews. So I kind of went, all right, I'll just put up with the Ring thing for a while. And then...
You know what? Just to add really quick to your Ring thing, this stuff didn't used to be, like, the whole surveillance thing didn't used to be such a big deal. But in the current socio-political climate that we live in, suddenly all the surveillance shit means a lot more.
and I had done all this before it even got like this, because I just didn't like the idea of it, because unlike a lot of people who are now looking in the mirror and starting to perceive really deep truths about where they live, it's not like I ever thought this country was immune from that shit. So I didn't want, I was kind of looking for the outdoor on this thing anyway.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, though, there really weren't good alternatives that didn't want you to pay for something. They all wanted you to have a cloud. It all had to go to them and all this shit. But there's a company called Eufy who has been no cloud, no subscription, no bullshit for a while, but their stuff wasn't always the best. It didn't always work. But late last year, I looked at it. Every 6 months or so, I'd come back and look and see, if anything had improved. And it seemed like they had gotten their act together fairly well. So I've swapped out everything for that. So the Ring's gone. So that's now the new doorbell, but there's no cloud to it. You don't push anything to them. It's all local storage. So there's a little home base, this little, Alien One looking design thing, little thing that sits there, and it's a doorbell, but it's all self-contained. So you do not have to pay any subscriptions. You don't send anything anywhere else. It's on a what do you call it? There's a drive. There's a slotted drive. You just put a drive in it. And it'll, you tell it what you want it to do. It's got all the standard stuff. When we're home, it disarms, because there's cameras too. I even have one of the little cameras on the back that actually moves, which is awesome. And so it has the sensor for, if your phone comes in.
And you can control it remotely.
Yes, it will go. It will connect to your network, but the video never leaves.
Got it.
So you get notified. And the doorbell one that I got has a front-facing camera as well as a down-facing camera, so they can see the packages that are left. So it can actually tell if somebody steals your package. It can actually alert you to that. And there is an AI component to it that you do not have to use. So you just never enable it, and it will never be a problem. You can choose to have it ignore pets or not. I did that. It knows the difference. So it doesn't just falsely go off all the time because our dog moves around. So that's not a problem. You can load faces if you want it to notify you when certain people are there. You can also not do that. The nice part is all this stuff is optional. So you can have it be as minimal or as maximal as you want.
Yeah, it's optional and it's local.
That's it. So if you want, and they do have a cloud service, you can, but it's not a requirement. So if you want to have it stored outside, you can do that. I don't really care about that. If something happens, I just want to know. I'm not worried about, I'm gonna give everybody a little insight into the way the world actually works. If you give video to the cops, unless they arrest the same person for something else and it just happens to coincide, they're not going to hunt for them. They don't care about your things. They don't care that you had a break-in. They're not going to care unless somebody's dead. And even then, I'm not really sure how much they care. So that's not really what you care about. You don't need to provide the footage to somebody because you think that they're going to fucking pull a Columbo and go corner them somewhere. It's never going to happen. I'm just telling you, it's never going to happen. So what you want, really, is the notification. Or if something odd happens, for your own kind of peace of mind to be able to see what's going on. That's it.
Or
and that's
if you want
why
to make,
I like the fact that you can.
Or if you want to make a special kind of outdoor porno using your.
Sure.
Your
actually,
camera.
that outdoor camera for a residential camera is amazingly flexible in what it can do. I mean, it's really something. It's just got this little orb camera and it moves around. It's really neat. But like I said, you can have all that stuff as minimal as you want. Or you can go full bore. I mean, you can have all these AI features where it learns and figures out who's who. You can go crazy with all that stuff.
Yeah, and
but
I
it's not required.
still have Ring cameras on the front door, back door, and side door. That's like it's more my wife's area because she finds it a much more secure feeling knowing that she can see what's going on at the house when we're
I wanted video on the doorbell. I just didn't want to have Ring anymore.
But you are correct. It's like this is the age where if you have to You have to vote with your money. You have to make your voice known with your money. You know, when they said the whole thing, corporations are people and they speak with their money. The reality is that, yes, that's why they get as much as they do, because they get to speak a lot because they get a lot of money. If you want to speak to this culture, you speak with your money. And that's really the only way that you speak.
There was also, I mean, this seems like it's inevitable for every company, so I shouldn't say it like I don't think it'll happen to everybody. But there was one of these companies where they found out that the employees were looking at the video that was stored in the cloud. That's another reason why I'm like, no.
I think I read about this.
Yeah. And like I said, I expect every company will have that either by people being assholes inside or by accident.
I don't care so much about, and I realize this is kind of the middle ground. I don't really care about the video that's outside my house because it's an outside space. So it's kind of, it's public anyway. I would get more irritated about cameras that I had indoors. But I don't like the idea of cameras indoors, so...
No, I agree. But the issue becomes, they can see your movements. They start to build a pattern, and
absolutely. No.
That's where I'm like,
listen, stuff happens. They can absolutely build a pattern.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I really don't care about outside either. It was more of the fact that when you cut the cloud off,
but you are correct.
Stop the ability for outside people to see it.
Like you are correct about the fact that it's one more fucking thing. And
like I said, it's more of I don't trust the security of any cloud company now. None of them.
No, but you know what? Apple made a mistake. This is a funny thing for me.
No.
Yes, they did.
No, they did. Never.
No. This is an amusing one. So so I hate iCloud, right? And every time they would do any kind of update, right, they would always switch iCloud back on, right? And then it'd be like, it'd start, my phone would start chugging because it was like, oh, we want to upload your photos. And we want to upload this. We want to upload that. And I'd have to go into iCloud and shut the fucker off. And then, they always have these scary things where like, well, we're going to delete all the photos. And it's like, well, you don't have any, so fuck you. But like they always would turn it back on. And I don't like iCloud at all. I don't need it. So this most recent update they did, well, you have to basically agree to the new terms of iCloud.
Just don't agree.
And I was like, no. And they're like, oh, okay. And then it's funny because I've noticed now that like once a week or so, I get a little thing that pops in my phone that's like, hey, do you want to agree to our terms for iCloud? And I'm like, nope. And then that's it. And I'm like, hey, you guys kind of shot yourself in the foot with this one. Before, when you just kept turning that fucker on, you could get access. It's like, but now that you're specifically asking... There's a specific trail of me saying no.
No.
So I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
That seems like a mistake on their part. I'm sure that they'll fix that at some point and be like, well, you automatically agree to our terms through usage.
Of course. Somehow they'll find a way.
Oh, they will. Yeah, the legal jargon.
Like life, they'll find a way. They'll manage it.
Oh man, yeah. But I did think to myself, it gave me a chuckle because I was like, oh, you guys fucked yourself on this one. It's like, I'm not agreeing to your shit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what though? I had something happen recently where I realized that I didn't like how much I was using my phone. Now here's the thing. I say I don't like how much I'm using my phone, but I also don't like. I'm not checking social media. Like I'm basically reading the news or reading. But I realize I do a lot of that stuff on my phone, and I think that I'm gonna do. So have you seen this thing where basically you make your phone as unattractive as possible? This is the opposite of what you do.
Oh, yes.
Where you just have like a black screen and you just have very basic icons. Yeah. So like
that's one of the reasons they say to use monochrome is because it becomes less visually interesting.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I'm gonna start kind of shifting off of this. It's like because there's the thing that I noticed happens is that when I'm doing research, right, I go on my computer and I sit down and I do research. And when I do research, I get really fucking like deep in it. But I started doing research a lot on my phone. And it was because the research was always with me. I never really got away from it. And I realized that there's a lot of my life now where it's like I never really stop a task because it's always in my pocket. And one of the things I never did on my phone was really write. I tried once or twice, but it just felt terrible, and I was like, this isn't going to work. And I basically write on what is mostly a dead terminal at this point, Like I have like a separate, simple computer that I would write on, right?
Yeah.
Or do like like I wrote the children's book thing on there, things like that. And I do it because I want to be totally kind of cut off from the distraction. And I was like, you know what? I was like, that's the thing. It's the distraction. It's the
Yeah.
what did we used to do with ourselves when we were stuck waiting someplace for 15 minutes? I used to read a
Yeah.
book. I used to have a book with me like all the time. You
Yeah.
know, and even in college. I mean, if you think about it, right? We had cell phones. We didn't have smartphones. We have
No.
smartphones till much later, and it's like kind of sit there and go,
Yeah.
were you constantly staring at your fucking cell phone? No, because if you had one game, it was
Right.
usually like Tetris or some shit if you were lucky. Otherwise, it was just a goddamn phone. And I was like, you know what? We had more time. I had more
Yeah.
time. I was more focused. So I think that when it comes time for me to get a new phone, I have the plus size phone. I think I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
get the smaller one. I think I'm gonna get the small screen, and I'm gonna start shifting to kind of a. I mean, the monochromatic thing is really smart. I think I'm gonna shift to that, and I'm just gonna start, getting my time back. And if I go to do something, I'm gonna go to my actual computer, give me a time frame of what I'm going to be doing when, do it, and then walk the fuck away. Like
Sure.
I hate. I I don't think that this is like I'm old and I'm having this reactive technology. No, I think
Oh
it is
no.
that
No,
I'm
I don't think it's that at
I'm
all. Because there's younger people who are doing this as well that don't like how much they're on their phone. Amazingly,
yeah, I
there's
just
a,
don't, I
there's a whole
think
thing
that
of that. Yeah.
technology is great to help you do the things that you want to do. But when technology becomes the thing that you do you know what I mean? It's like it just kind
Yeah,
of gets in the
I
way.
have for a while. I only have on my home screen. There are 9 icons. Those are the 9 icons that I typically use because there's something that I have to do on a daily basis, like tracking calories or, like my two-factor authentication. Otherwise, my effort is to never go into the drawer of an app unless I have a specific need, and it's pretty easy to do it once the core 9 are there that I know I actually use. It's let's see, what are they? They are. Well, I can look at them. Got them right on my screen because they're really all utilities. Let's see. So my 9 are the top one. The top left is the Eufy stuff, Zone Alert if I need it. The top center is Blue Sky, which is the only social media I really do. The top right is Discord because I do get messages through that. Middle left is files, just all the files on the phone. Center is two-factor and password manager. Center right is the podcatcher. Bottom left is my timer for my teeth. So I keep track because I cannot time my teeth. So I cannot figure out what 2 minutes is unless I can see it ticking. Bottom center is settings, which is if my phone seems to be flipping out. So I don't have to use that all often. And then bottom right is camera. That's it. And then the bottom of the screen is the stuff you have to have, like the phone icon, because I actually do use my phone and texting. But anything that's not a phone function, like a core function, is in that 9 group. And my effort is to never go past that 9 group. And even that I don't use all the time. That's it. It keeps it simple. There's no clutter there. And the notifications are only I just shut notifications off unless I turn them on. If you default all notifications to off, that's helpful because you don't just get spammed. You pick, okay, this application I actually do want to know. If my wife sends me a message, I need to know.
Yeah.
Pop that up.
Yeah,
And I even have a
think
thing where when it's in Do Not Disturb, there's only like 3 people who can get through that. Everybody else, I'm never going to see it. That's it.
I think I'm going to start decommissioning the functions of my phone because it's just it becomes a device that you so easily defer to it.
Well, I've told you this too. I uninstall any app that I don't use once a day. Uninstall.
Oh man.
I can always reinstall it. So like on Tuesdays, my wife, when she's coming back from the gym, that's the day we get sandwiches from this local sandwich shop. Togo Tuesdays. Place is called Togo's. So on Tuesday, I will install the app, place the order, and immediately erase it. That's it. Used it, lose it.
Yeah, I'm also not an app person. If I can just go to a website, I'll just go to a website.
Yeah, well, the problem there is a lot more of these now will only let you use the app. The websites are fucking not functional. So there's that problem too, where people are pushing you to their app now, and the website doesn't work. There are websites now that will say you have to use the app because they're counting on what most people do is they install the app and they just leave it there, and that's bad.
Oh yeah, people collect apps and they just leave them on their device, going, well, one day if I need it again, I'll know it's there.
Well, and the thing is, you don't know what that app's collecting. And I'm not saying everyone is nefarious,
no, but you
I
are
distrust
correct.
Everything.
Hey, the Facebook app gets in trouble all the time for posting stuff in the background.
Yeah.
So
I haven't had a Facebook app on my phone. I can't even tell you.
I've never had a Facebook app. I've never had a Facebook. So.
Well, even when it wasn't the shitbag, they were always bad on battery. That's the biggest problem with those. Even for people who use them, the battery suckage, it is notoriously bad.
Yeah, but you know what? You're right. I'm gonna sit down and look at all the stuff that I use once a day and see everything, because I know for a fact that I think I have Snapchat on my phone, right?
You can always reinstall them if you need them.
No. But the thing is, the only time I use Snapchat at this point, ever. I used Snapchat when my kids were little to amuse them, right?
Sure.
And then now my nephew, every now and then when we're out to dinner, I'll use it to amuse him while we're like waiting for food or something like that, because he likes to see them. And honestly, it still amuses my kids as well, because you see yourself turned into stupid things. Mm-hmm. It's cute.
Well,
but like I use that like once every fucking 2 months.
But also what's different today that, again, was not the case when we first got cell phones is installing an app is trivial. There's no real cost to it. It used to be that
so quick, yeah.
Yeah, that not only downloading was slow because data network sucked, but then you had to wait for the goddamn thing to install. So now it's not. So why keep it?
I would think I would like to live a life where the technology is subservient to my needs and not the other way around. Also,
my OCD helps me here because every month I have to change the theme of the phone, which means every icon has to match.
Yeah,
so the fewer apps I have, I literally would sit there for 3 hours.
It behooves you to use that shit as little as possible.
You see what I'm saying? Sometimes the things that haunt you correctly.
Yeah.
So
whereas I just like to use. I never change my icons, but I do like to always switch up my desktops.
Oh my god!
You know what I do like to do with my desktop though, and on my phone, and this is something I think people can use. I use my lock screen for behavioral modification. In that I will usually get like not a blank image, but like a kind of a vague image. So for a while there, I think I had. There's Gustav Klimt did a painting of water, and I just zoomed in on the water, and but it's very it's very sort of plain, but there's a little bit something there. And now sometimes I use photographs from like the fucking NASA and shit like that. But either way,
I love NASA. That's why I use a lot of background for a lot of my illustrations.
I will include a mantra or phrase on that image on the lock screen of something that I want to remind myself not to do, or something that I want to remind myself to do.
Sure.
And that way, and the thing is, you don't realize how many times a day you look at your screen. And the thing is, if you want to change a behavior and you're serious about it,
there are several apps that will count it and show it on your screen. Some people do that, and that's the only way they can stop. They actually have a counter. It's a widget that sits on the screen, and it will increment every time you activate the screen.
No, I know that, but I'm saying when I was using it for behavioral modification, I would write something on the screen to remind myself. Because the thing is that you look at your screen so many times a day, that you'd basically it's kind of like a way of self brainwashing. So if you want to change, if there's something about your personality or a behavior you want to remember to do, or any number of things, it's like I've done that before. Yeah. Like when I was trying to be better with money or something like that, I would write some kind of 2-3 word mantra that would make me think about what I was trying to do.
Do you need to spend it? Just
any number of things like that. Yeah, but the idea is that whenever you're looking at your phone anyway, it acts as this kind of information loop where you hit it every time and you're like, oh yeah, and then you end up seeing it and you end up just burning it into your head. So in that respect, I do like using the frequency to which you're going to look at your device as a way of self brainwashing, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell? Something just fell over in my office. What the fuck just fell over in my office?
I don't know.
Um,
I'm not there.
I don't.
I can't
I
tell you.
don't know. So I'm just gonna
It's always
deal
nice
with
to
it
hear
later.
and not know what it is.
Did you hear that?
I didn't hear it, but I know the feeling.
Something.
I know
Yeah.
exactly the feeling.
Somebody in my office just went.
If something shifts and I don't know what it is, I'm sitting there looking around for 20 minutes. Like, what?
I'll deal with it later.
Yeah. I
It's
did
the
send you.
leprechaun.
I sent you my current lock screen, which is quite beautiful.
Let's see. Where?
Not that anybody can see this listening to it. It's on your phone.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I like that. It's
Yeah,
like magma.
that's a good one. Yeah. It's orange.
Did you find that or did you make it?
No, I found. No, boy, it's really funny. Everybody asks me that. No, I found it. I found it on Wallhaven. Wallhaven is a really good wallpaper site. It has just everything. Although I wish by default it didn't have to show me,
Have you done that?
anime girls.
What? Oh, is that one of the things?
Well,
that's
it defaults to anime girls included. I'm like, I never, ever, ever am going to be looking for anime girls. Could I just not see that? I don't care. It doesn't do anything for me. But I understand I'm in the minority there. I get it.
So the closest thing I had to an anime girl on my lock screen was I had Vi from Arcane. But I had her because there's a really great scene in that show where she says, just shut the fuck. She's talking about how you can get people to trust you. And she says, like, one of the things you're supposed to do is just shut the fuck up. And I was trying to make myself less nervously chatty when dealing with strangers. And I had that on my screen for a while. And it was Vi, and it was just her. And then the phrase underneath it was just, shut the fuck up. So,
yeah, I think the only thing I've ever had there was the Elvira swimsuit card.
Oh,
the kind of famous
that's
one.
A classic.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, I always make an exception for Elvira, so I don't care.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, you know what? I wanted to mention this because we reviewed this movie last week, and you mentioned Elvira, so maybe the horror movies.
Sure.
So Joe told me after we did the show that there was a 4-hour cut of the movie Wolfen, which both of us raved about. Yep. And I know you're looking for it, and I'm looking for it as well. But I don't think it exists.
I don't think so either.
But I did learn some interesting things about Wolfen that I wanted to share with you.
Sure.
So things.
Go
so
ahead.
I read this.
I'm on a Pinterest page of Elvira, so take your time.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not exaggerating. Go ahead.
No. Hey, listen. As long as we can both multitask here.
We sure can.
But I read an article about the things that the director changed from the book, because you and I both were talking about whether or not we were going to read the book.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to read the book, and this is why. So the wolves in the book are not elder gods. They're almost like a super intelligent canine species.
Yeah.
And they are point of view characters in the book. Yeah. You do experience their thought process.
And they get wiped out, right? Don't they all get wiped out at the end?
I don't think they're.
I thought I read that the ending is that they get wiped out. That the humans just find them and eradicate them.
I don't know. I just know that they are not like elder gods. They're not shapeshifters. They're more super intelligent canine species, right? Of some kind, a lupin species, right? And it is interesting that they're point of view characters. It is interesting that you get into what is an alien logic, because they're not human, but it's the whole what would happen if you had an intelligent lupin species.
Yeah,
right?
Separate race of super intelligent canids.
Yeah.
Intelligent beings descended from canids living secretly alongside mankind.
Yeah. So when the director did the movie, the director kind of got wanted to get more into the strange myth of it all. And so he's the one that inferred that there was more to it, that there were some kind of elder gods or spirits or demons or shapeshifters, or that they were something else, and that the wolf form was just what you saw, right? Yeah. And I gotta tell you, this is one of those weird cases where it's like, I kind of like the movie version thing. Like, I like that idea a lot, enough so that I don't know if I'm gonna read the book. Like I loved this strange mysticism of it. That that they're more than what your mere mortal eye can fathom. And then and the director tried to capture the point of view thing by doing like the Predator cam.
Yeah.
Right, to show you what they were doing, what they were thinking, to try to get that from the book, which I thought was interesting. But holy fuck, man, I would totally watch a 4-hour version of that movie.
So would I, sure.
I don't have a lot of regrets in life, but I regret that I'm not going to be able to see a 4-hour version of that movie.
I can only don't ever say that. It could always be found.
I can't imagine the shit that they cut from that, because I love the movie, but I do feel at times like there's stuff that feels a little rushed here and there, and it's like, yeah, well, you cut 2 hours of the goddamn movie. Like,
right?
No shit, it feels weird at times.
Yeah, today they would make a part 1, part 2, and you get it all. But
fuck it, today they would put the theatrical cut, and then they'd be like, oh, this is the special director's cut.
The unrated extended Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and cut, they'd wait like 6 months after the initial DVD came out, so everyone would buy that, and then they would put out this extended edition, so they could make twice the profit, and you'd buy it because you'd know it was coming out. This is like Peter Jackson and the extended Lord of the Rings. It's like the first ones came out, then the extended ones came out, and you were like, fuck. And then you bought the extended ones because they were better, But, so, if anybody listening knows of a Wolfen 4-hour rough cut anywhere, Joe and I are both so curious.
I
don't think it exists.
Well, I don't know that it doesn't exist. Is it one of these things that somebody's going to find? Because that does happen. There have been cuts that they were sure would never be found that are found. Who knows? I mean, you have to remember, at the end of Raiders, where they're showing the Ark in that huge warehouse, and you understand that thing's just going to get lost among all those other things, even though it's superpowered God rays. Yeah. It's the same thing with film. There are warehouses, there are basements full of these reels. That's what Vinegar Syndrome and others, they'll buy them up on eBay, and they find these movies that nobody even remembers. So it can happen. You never know.
Recently I learned something that was kind of weird, which is that I know you don't care about this movie, but the movie itself is not the fascinating thing. So, that there's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I know what it is. Yeah.
So there is the book. Now in England it's called the Philosopher's Stone, and Scholastic changed the name when it came to the U.S. because they thought that Philosopher's Stone was too brainy for Americans, and they switched it to Sorcerer's Stone, right?
Sure.
But when they did the movie, they did this weird thing. I didn't know about this. So the British cut of the movie, they all say Philosopher's Stone. And they didn't digitally do it. They actually filmed different takes.
Oh yeah, very common.
Yeah, and then for the American audience, they filmed it and they did it with Sorcerer's Stone. But what's really fascinating is that they used alternate cuts and they still timed the movie like exactly.
Oh yeah,
which
that's very common.
It must have been interesting trying to get these kids to like hit these marks. Like, hey, now do it again.
Well, I mean that's a part of acting. That's what you, as an actor, you start to learn to do that.
Yeah, but
you have the ideas you have to repeat because a lot of them do multiple takes. Well, yeah,
and when you see the frames, they show the frames side by side in this one thing I was watching. So I was kind of curious. And they are different takes, different emphasis, different almost facial gestures, and yet they are perfectly timed to each other.
Yeah.
So
my bet is they probably also did a little bit of manipulation on that. So let's say they were 10 seconds over. Speed the film up a bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Something I just thought you can do it.
I always thought it was fascinating that they didn't do it digitally. They were like, no, fuck it, we'll film it again. This is Chris Columbus,
today they would. Today they absolutely would. Today it would happen. They would
how long ago was that? Was that the early 2000s?
Oh, that's the first. Is that the first or second one?
That was the first one.
Probably 07, 05.
I mean, they did so much CG work in that movie. Why would they not do it digitally?
Well, I mean, if they felt like the actors could do it. Yeah, there you go. So, if they probably were ready to do that if they had to, but I would bet in 01 that was still going to be expensive, and with the amount of CG already in it, they were probably like, okay, man, especially if they don't know if it's going to be a hit yet. You got to be careful. So they were probably like, let's try a couple takes, see if they can do it. If they can't, we'll figure it out. And then, by the way, in the book, the Wolfen do retreat and realize that now that the humans know who they are, they're all going to be killed. So the end of it is them acknowledging their
So they aren't killed, they just acknowledge they're in trouble.
They leave some bodies behind, and they can't recover them. And once they know that the humans know who they are, that's it. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, isn't that what happens?
I will probably read it.
In every alien story.
That's exactly what happens. If there's a predator, we have to kill it.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, not to get, extraterrestrial here, but everyone's like, we're all the aliens. If there are ultra advanced intergalactic species out there, right? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't come here. This fucking psychotic barbarian backwater. Are you kidding me?
No.
We just the murder from made up shit rate we've got as a species. I mean, we're working on wiping ourselves out here. I think that's honestly, as an extraterrestrial species, that's got to be the first thing you look at. You got to look at a species and go, you know what? Are they going to wipe themselves out? Because I can't think that they're going to be very nice to us if they're going to wipe themselves out. If they haven't unified yet as a planet, I'm not going there. Yeah. You don't go on vacation to war-torn countries unless you're a specific type of person.
Right.
Right? And the Earth is a war-torn planet.
Yeah.
So, no fucking way.
Yeah.
I think I like the idea of the wolf and his elder gods because I like the idea that it's something that's beyond man.
I do too. I mean, I
like
love
the idea that it's like, oh no, guys, this is older than you. You can't touch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's one of those things. I think I think there's people who are always looking for proof of magic, and I don't mean like a magic trick. I mean like proof of the supernatural, proof of the impossible. That they want the elder gods. They're looking for it because
just describe the X-Files.
I know, because if something exists, then there's the possibility that other things do.
Right.
I mean, that's the thing is if you can discover a ghost, then Christianity could be real. It's that kind of thing where it's like if magical thinking is provable on any level, then magical thinking is possible. And I'll admit, if I bumped into something that I truly felt was, impossibly magical, it might change my mind. It's just that I haven't. And everyone I've read about who's gone looking hasn't really either. In fact, most of the people who believe in all kinds of strange things are usually people who either have a shtick in it or haven't really gone looking.
Yeah, they only look as far as confirmation bias.
Well, there's a lot of that as well, yeah.
There's a lot of that.
There's that MTV show where they used to bring usually young people to quote unquote haunted places and then make them go out and do tasks with cameras.
It was great. I remember it was man,
and the thing was
I used to love that show because they all just made up the stuff in their heads. Nothing ever happened.
They basically drove themselves crazy. And there was never anything there, but I mean they used dramatic music and snappy camera
it's called
shots.
Fear. I thought it was Fear something. It's just Fear.
Unlike Fear Factor, where they would make you actually do gross shit.
yeah, but nothing supernatural there either. You were just eating.
You were just doing gross shit. Yeah. But yes, I thought that show was funny. But no, I wouldn't come here. Jesus Christ.
No, I agree. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, for a moment, I mean, if you really want to put it into context, just take any sci-fi that you like, right? Any intergalactic sci-fi. Star Trek. If the Enterprise came on a planet that looked like us right now, would they even come down?
You're barbaric. We're going away.
They'd be like, devices. No, they haven't discovered hyperdrive yet. We're just going to leave them here. They might wipe themselves out. Well, the first directive?
Prime directive.
For the Prime directive, the Prime directive. Well, we can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Sorry to hear it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We'll put an entry in the captain's log. That's the proof of your existence when you bond yourself.
They're here. Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's the only evidence that there will ever be of you.
Yeah, and you know what? And the thing is, if aliens had come here at some point, I don't put it past governments on this planet to not have done exactly the wrong thing. This is
sure.
the whole,
Yeah. Yeah.
There's still native peoples in certain places in this world. We haven't wrung them all out. But there's an island, and I think it's near India, where the people there are cut off. And there was a guy, a missionary, who tried to kayak there to bring them the word of God, and they killed him.
Didn't they kill him immediately?
No, they killed him. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that we're the island, we're the natives. So what's to say that somebody isn't going to kayak their spaceship here? And we're not.
If you look at the bulk of media dealing with first encounters with aliens, the majority is not going to be friendly.
Oh yeah, like even if you're an alien intelligence and you can monitor the zeitgeist of what people are thinking, right?
Yeah.
Let's weigh out all the stories, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't end well. I mean, listen, E.T. doesn't end well because the government wants to get him and test him, so he needs to get off the fucking planet. And you know what? Yep. Alien Earth. I mean, the xenomorph is a monster, but it's not like it's going well for him either.
Most of them end with the aliens either being driven off, leaving, or being killed.
Yeah.
The majority.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of entertainment,
yes,
we're going to do our movies in reverse order that we watched them, because I think the first one we watched is the higher quality one. But before I get into that...
Yeah. Just give me the essence of the thing, the juice, you know.
You shut the fuck up!
Thanks for killing my mom.
Yeah, no problem.
See, white girls bore me.
You can eat shit and die, Colonel.
I don't know if I like the essence of the thing in the beginning or the end. It's kind of tough for me to tell.
It's always good.
Yeah, it's good either way. I just don't know where I'm going to land on that. I need another clip to balance it out. I need another opening or closing clip, but I haven't found it quite yet. Anyway. So we watched a pair of films that could only have been made when they were made for various reasons.
Fell over now.
Okay, well, while Lando encounters an
back.
East Coast earthquake, I will start on what our movie is. So we watched two films. We're going to review them in reverse order. But the first one that we watched was from 1986, I believe. Not Chopped Mall, Chopping Mall.
That's so weird.
Chopping Mall. Originally, I didn't find this out till today. Was originally released 15 minutes longer as Killbots. Did not do well because parents thought that Killbots was a Transformers spin-off film. And so very quickly the decision was made, we can't have this confusion happening, and they changed the Chopping Mall and cut 15 minutes down because apparently it was felt it shouldn't be over 90 minutes. And then it did very well theatrically. So changing the name and that slight edit to keep it at 90 minutes apparently was just enough to have the movie do well enough that they considered a sequel. They didn't make it, but there was consideration of a sequel. Yeah, because it made money.
To Chopping Mall? You know what?
The Chopping Mall.
If they, yeah, you're right. I mean, it all comes. I mean, that was the thing that. Oh, jeez, I forgot his name. Clerks, Mallrats.
Oh, Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith said, where he was like, if I spend this much and I make this much, then I live to fight another day. And that's why he makes, he doesn't want to make super expensive movies because it's like, yeah. So it makes sense. Yeah, they made money. Chopping Mall is a cheap movie. It is. It's not a good movie, but it's not a bad movie.
No.
It's just one of those. God, it's one of these like 80s simple horror movies of which I think I've seen 1,000 of them when I was a kid. People in a place.
Yeah.
Bad thing shows up. Chopping Mall is different only in that it picked a different place. Because normally it's like, don't go to Crystal Lake, right? And this is honestly, that's why we paired the movies that we paired tonight. Is that idea of places, a lot of horror movies happen in places that you wouldn't normally go to. But what's interesting is when it happens to a place that is commonplace. So it's like, well, this isn't Camp Crystal Lake. This is your mall. this could be happening at a mall, and that I think, despite the cheese factor, does hit closer to your head because you're like, oh yeah, you know what? Like, what would I do in that situation? I go to the mall, you know, but it's not a good movie.
No, the thing about this movie is, the movie was written apparently in 24 hours, which makes sense. Concept came up. Apparently, Roger Corman, legendary producer of all kinds of B movies, who, you know, as long as it made money, he'd back you up as long as you could do it cheaply.
Oh, is this a Corman
loved the
film?
idea. Well, Corman was involved. No,
Okay.
well, I believe his wife was the casting director or was involved, but Corman didn't produce it, is my understanding. But he was consulted because he talked to everybody, and so he was always interested, and he would always give advice. He seemed like, from all accounts, a very generous person in terms of wanting as many people to make movies as possible, as long as they knew how to make them make money. Like, he would, if you asked him a question, he'd be like, I'll help you out. I don't care who you are. So he said it was a great idea, you know, said, okay, here's the way you do it cheaply. And one of the ways was to shoot it at a mall when it was closed, with the understanding they could shoot there as long as they didn't break anything or nothing that they didn't replace.
Well, they cleaned up, as long as they cleaned up.
Yes. So it's a very simple concept. Like you said, this is the heyday of mall culture, when everybody was at the mall, when everybody loved the mall. This is the height of it, really, was right around this time period. It's a very simple concept that security robots go crazy in a mall where teenagers are staying after and fooling around, and they have to try to survive. That's it.
And
that's the movie.
We watched, was it Class of '89? Is that the one with the Terminators?
Class of 1999.
Class of 1999. Yeah, that was honestly, that would I think group up well with these, because it's this idea of a school where they retrofitted Terminators to be teachers, and you know things.
Except
go
that movie tried to be far bigger than its.
I know.
It was trying to be a big movie.
But it's still the same kind of idea.
But asshole teachers,
movie,
simple concept.
Yeah,
Teachers
if
are
you
assholes.
if you found out in this movie, if all it would have taken would have been one line of somebody being like, well, you know, we got these robots military surplus, they were supposed to be used for something else, and you've been like, there you go, right? That would explain why they're so fucking lethal. Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. I mean, but also, you know, lasers. I mean, these things have fucking like pew 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 lasers.
Lasers that they can't hit nearly anything with.
No, they're kind of like the stormtroopers in that respect, aren't they?
Yeah, except for one memorable exploding head, which is probably one of the better exploding head gags in the movie, for sure.
I mean, and it is quite good. And that's the thing. The movie has some inconsistency where it's like, yeah, stuff happens, and you're like, it's okay. And then every now and then you get one really good one where you're like, oh, okay, somebody got it. And you know what? Actually, most of it has to do with that woman.
Yes.
Like the sequence where she's walking around and the camera's just following her from behind. And you're like, okay.
If the camera had zoomed any further in on her ass, they could have checked it for polyps.
I know, but it's that kind of thing. Is that, you know, every adolescent in the room at that point would have perked up, and then when you surprise explode her head. I mean, you don't expect it because as of that moment, nothing like that's happened. And then the terrible thing is it never happens again.
No, the closest is when Barbara Crampton gets set on fire and is just screaming and screaming and screaming. But the problem is she's screaming so much that you want her to die at that point.
Yeah, honestly, you would have preferred if they just blew all of her up.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, so, simple concept. Movie did fairly well. And then the thing that really gave it a second life was, I remember very, very vividly seeing the cover of the VHS art where the arm is holding the bag, which is still, regardless of the movie's quality, one of the greatest pieces of cover art that has ever been done. In terms of, you immediately, even though you will never see an arm like that in the movie, the entirety of the movie is conveyed in one image. You know exactly what this movie's about.
Yeah, it's the whole somebody did the cover who'd never actually seen the movie.
Yeah, see, you know the one I'm talking about.
I'm looking at with like the cyborg hand holding the bag.
Yes, and there's something about the fact that the thumb is out. Like it's there's a lot of personality in that.
There's a different one where you see the hand.
Yeah, I don't like that other one. You mean the one that's from the front? I'm talking about the one from the side. The one from the side, I think, is the superior one.
I think they're both good.
Oh, the other one's good too.
And they're both a play on the same concept. I mean, the hands are similar.
But I think that other one where it's from the side. I literally think somebody.
Have you seen the other one with the robot and the exploding head?
I don't like that one either.
And the spiders.
Yeah, I don't. That's a weird one.
That is a weird one.
To me, the superior one is that side one because I can easily see that they had a woman hold a bag, and they just did the reference right off of that. It looks exactly like somebody holding a shopping bag.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it could have been a man too. I'm going by the long nail.
So
just assuming
when
at the
I was-
time the long nail would have been a female hand. That's
When I was a kid, I saw the other one with the hand, the fist facing forward. With
the other
body
one's
parts in
fine
it.
too, but when you see this one, I feel like the artistry is better on the arm than in that hand. But as you said, either one. That's the other. That's what gave it its second run.
Oh,
As you
the
see that, you're like,
tagline.
oh shit. Yeah.
Buy or die, half off is just the beginning.
Yeah. Or the other one, the one I like, the tagline is where shopping costs you an arm and a leg.
That's good. That's also good.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So either way though, you see that in the store and you know exactly what it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
then
and
you're
that-
disappointed
and I
that there's not
remember-
an actual Terminator.
I don't remember having seen this movie at all. I don't know if I saw it, but I remember
Oh,
that
yeah.
poster being at the video store.
I very clearly remember watching this movie, and I think this was one of those movies where, because there's nudity so quickly in it, I was like, oh, hopefully my mom doesn't walk in while I'm watching this, because I think I watched this very young, and I was watching it for the horror elements, but the boobs were nice too. It's just I didn't expect that. I thought it was just going to be a slasher film.
I mean, when you're that age, nudity is always appreciated.
Well, the other thing is, at that age, I wasn't aware of the slasher formula. So I didn't know that, okay, in these movies, there is almost certainly going to be nudity. So I just thought it was going to be people getting killed by a Terminator. That's what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. And they're getting killed by robots, but not a Terminator. No, nothing that appears as either of those images
honestly,
would make
the
you think.
chopping mall robots are kind of dumpy.
They are potatoes with laser heads. They're pathetic.
They're like fat Johnny Fives with like a giant dome
bad.
head. Yeah.
A movie that came out the same year with a far superior robot. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the same year,
amazing.
isn't it?
Same year.
That's funny.
We looked it up.
They have the same tread, I noticed.
Yeah.
Like if you look at the chopping mall, the Killbots, they have the same base.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean the short circuit robots, those things were amazing.
Those were. I mean that is the high point of that era with robots. I mean, it's unbelievable how good that robot is. It's so goddamn expressive. I mean, they figured it out with that.
Well, the eyebrows
These
and
things,
everything, yeah.
No. But you are correct. There is a similarity only in the treads. Otherwise, these two types of robots could not be further apart.
Yeah.
Also, Johnny seemed to be able to hit things with his laser. So.
Oh yeah, no, he was far more.
When
effective.
Johnny's eyes turned red, you were in trouble. When these things fire at you, you've got about a 80 out of 100 chance of not being hit at all.
Yeah, start running.
The higher likelihood is that they accidentally hit a load-bearing beam and bring a roof down on you, but they don't actually kill you themselves directly. So, yeah. But it's a perfectly entertaining movie that is of a mall culture that no longer exists. So in that way, the idea of the mall as the
not
cultural
like that, no.
center is gone.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of the biggest things outside of the head explosion and robots.
I mean, it's very
robots that turn
80s.
evil from lightning. Apparently, lightning in California in 1986 was extraordinarily dangerous to automated systems.
Yes. Yes.
And the soundtrack sounds like somebody is having a seizure on top of a Casio keyboard at times. That's also sort of funny.
But I was
Where the notes
amused.
are
I mean,
literally-
I will say that, like, we do watch. There's some of these B movies that you watch, and you're just like, oh, what the hell is this? It is amusing, and it is an amusing concept. But I mean, like, it's one of those things where the technology is like so outmoded for the day. Like, this is supposed to be taking place in the 80s. I'm like, sorry guys, they don't have like blast doors on malls in the 80s. Like, so
yeah.
So it's this ridiculous concept, and you're always kind of sitting there going, nope, there was no windows. There wasn't a window you could break to get out. Like.
Well, you and I also, you said the same thing that I said. I think early on we both said the same thing. Why don't one of them distract it and the other one just goes around behind it and tips it over?
Yeah. Or you know what?
They're not fast.
Their original plan was to go to the parking garage or something like that. And,
yeah.
And the thing is, I do accept the fact that, so one of the girls freaks out. I do accept the fact that in high stress situations, there are people who just lose their shit.
Sure.
Like, I've seen it It's not made up. There are sometimes people who just lose their fucking minds. So, things are going kind of smoothly, and then one of the girls loses her shit, and, it ends badly. I am sad that, actually, you know what I realized about this movie? This is like a weird anti-premarital sex movie. Everybody who has sex in this movie dies.
We love premarital sex.
Yeah.
Thank you for the opening on that one.
There you go. But everybody who has sex dies. Because the only two people who live are the two nerds that were like snuggling watching a movie. Whereas early on in the movie, there's like a sex party in one of the stores, which is weird. But anyway.
Yeah.
And
a little strange.
Of that group, 4 were having sex, 2 didn't. The 2 that didn't live, the 4 that did died. And there's actually kind of a weird theme in the 80s, I think, of people who have sex die in horror movies.
Yeah.
Well,
that was the Friday the 13th model. I mean, that's the whole thing.
I don't know if there was a concerted effort, if it was some kind of anti-premarital sex sly movement that they had in there. But yeah, very often you have sex, you die.
Those all just build off the idea of being a virgin is, makes you pure or not. And if you're filthy, you deserve to die. That's a very, very old concept. That's not new.
I know, but the joke of it is that in a lot of these horror movies, you don't want to be a virgin because they'll probably sacrifice you.
Oh, yeah. Well, there is that. Yeah.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well. Can you be like a half virgin? What if you just have anal and you still
just butt stuff, I guess?
No. What if you have sex and you don't enjoy it? Do the robots not come after you then?
Well, based on the What We Do in the Shadows TV show, the concept of virgin is apparently pretty strict because there's a point where they're looking for virgins. He's like, some of these young Christians have a different idea of what virginity means, meaning that they did something.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to show.
It is one of the same things. It's like, how do you define what virginity even means? What does that mean?
It's the
hymen. You have to physically.
No, I was
going to say, is it the check from that movie, the hot soup movie? Do you have to do the check?
I hate for that to be true, but it's basically having an unbroken hymen. That's classically what it was.
Well then, all right.
Yeah, and if you didn't bleed when they had sex the first time, it was supposed to be a mark that you didn't, but you weren't a virgin. But the thing is, you can break your hymen like doing gymnastics. It's not. Sex is not the only thing that does that, so it's kind of a. Yeah. So yeah, but yes, these movies. Too much detail. Too much. These movies seem to have a anti-sex mindset. Have it and die.
Yep. No doubt.
Mm-hmm. Even if you're like in a healthy relationship, because the Denham twins in this movie, they seem perfectly fine. They seem to have figured out their balance. That was the one couple I didn't want to die. I didn't want the nerd couple to die, but I didn't want the Denham couple to die. I actually thought they were quite like
the Auto Club couple. Yeah, I liked them too.
Yeah, and like the one girl gets picked off, and I thought that the guy didn't need to die, and then the guy dies in a really weird way. That's probably the one kill in this movie that I'm like, I don't know. Where it's like, the thing's being electrocuted, and he drives the weird little mini cart into it, and then he gets electrocuted.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb.
So, and that's what I mean. Like, it's not.
I agree.
It's not a great movie. It's a bad movie, but it's a funny bad movie. I enjoyed this less than I enjoyed the other movie that we're reviewing tonight.
Yeah, and that's why I did them in the order that I did.
Which I enjoyed oddly more than I thought I was going to. But I think that the next movie we're going to review is a better movie.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, we're done with Chopping Mall, I assume?
Sure, yeah.
All right. In that case, the other movie that is a time capsule of a certain time and place, the 80s health craze thing, the gym idea. Even though the gym is always persistent, but this is a very specific era of the gym, almost as kind of a place that you go to show off.
This is the aerobics class gym era, like, and the Jamie Lee Curtis movie, was that Body Heat or something? I don't remember what it was called.
I think I think you're right.
But yeah, that was that era of like, what do they call my brain was like leg sweaters, leg warmers,
leg warmers. Yeah.
All these ridiculous neon, aerobics class outfits that people wore. this was the era of it, and this
this
movie takes place in a spa.
Yes, so it's 1988's Death Spa, which is a delightful film in its
it's
setting
fucking
and
weird,
strange story.
And you know what?
I
like that it's fucking weird because I was thinking about that, and I haven't. So I mean, essentially, the core of this movie is that there's like a really intelligent there's a intelligent computer that runs a gym, a spa gym, right? And what happens when the computer gets haunted?
Possessed.
Really, yeah.
The gym gets possessed.
The gym gets
computer,
possessed.
Therefore, the gym gets possessed.
And
Correct.
it is it's a funny concept because you think about like old scary houses being haunted, a car being haunted, right? Because I mean, Christine is kind of like a haunted car.
Sure, yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
but the thing is to have a candy colored neon place be murderous and threatening. And in actuality, there's a whole sequence that happens in the basement. And I think that the basement sequence detracts from the movie because I think when this movie is best, it's best when it's on the main floor of the gym and things are shiny, things are brightly colored. When you go into the basement, plus there's no way that the basement of this place was as big as it was. Man, they went to the basement, and the fucking basement was like 10 times the size of the building. But either way, it's like, yeah, when people are dying up above and dying in weird ways, and sometimes I do like that, like you get just a moment's worth of, like you see it coming, but that's the fun part of this movie where like something happens and you go, it'd be really funny if they killed somebody with one of those, and then like 5 minutes later they kill somebody with one of those, and you're like, okay, that was funny. I do appreciate the ingenuity of the flick and the things that they did. I mean, the lead only really had one, like, it was a limited emotional range.
Yes.
But Kirk's son was in this, correct. And he was actually kind of interesting.
Yeah, so the basic idea, just to explain what the story is as we said, there's a gym and the Kirk's son, who's also named David in this, so I mean, it's literally the same name, it makes it easy. So there's Michael and David. Michael is the proprietor of this gym who had a wife who had some mental issues, was obsessed with having a baby, suspected that her husband was having an affair, which is never definitively said yes or no. There's definitely reason to think maybe because he immediately gloms onto another woman who was the woman that the wife was suspecting.
And all the women like him. I mean, that's the other thing, too.
Oh, yes. Yes. Michael is, for a person who has all the charisma of a plank, he is the most, oh my God, I have to fuck him guy in the entire movie, where every woman essentially is in danger of becoming a walking swimming pool just by looking at him. And so Michael's wife, in some kind of fit of jealousy or self-loathing, or we don't know because she's in a wheelchair, sets herself on fire and kills herself. And apparently still had so much anger that she comes back as a spirit.
I think it's the connection with the twin, because David is her fraternal twin brother.
Oh yeah, no.
I think that there's
that's there is that aspect, but for whatever reason, she survives and is angry. So the twin is her conduit to be able to do certain things. Although I don't really even know why, because she doesn't need him to manipulate the computer. We find that out. But she has this weird psychic connection with her twin brother, David, where she will occasionally take over his body. To what end, we never really see any demonstration. I don't know.
It almost sounds... I got the sense that she had control over the spa, but that she didn't have that kind of power when they left. And I wonder if it's that she was able to hunt things through the automation to some extent, but that she needed his body when it came to do... Because like when he goes to the brother-in-law's house, I didn't know what he was going to do there, and maybe that was her possessing him to see like what.
Oh,
was
it was definitely her. I mean, the way that she's doing things. No, it's definitely the wife in possession of him.
Yeah.
Going there, and I think the idea was she was trying to kind of intimidate the other woman, but.
And good on the studio, by the way, for getting an actual actor to do that role. Because, I mean, he had to have some range.
Oh, yeah. No, he's very good. I mean, but the thing is, it's tough to tell how much she can really make him do. Because there seems to be, I don't know if they're fighting over control of their body or whatever. But it really doesn't come into play outside of being kind of another interesting aspect. But really what she's doing is she is seemingly trying to have the gym put out of business, because otherwise, why is she killing all these random patrons? Because none of them have a connection.
She's trying to ruin the place that he likes. This is his place.
She's trying to ruin the place.
Ruin it. Yeah.
Yeah, for, again, some reason. But then she's talking. I think is she trying to drive him to commit suicide like she did?
Well, she wants him to die, so he'll be with her.
Yeah, and I think it's that she wants to have him in ruins so he's driven to suicide.
Yeah.
Because you would assume if she just kills him,
it's fast and loose. Yeah, because if he kills himself, he automatically goes to hell, which is where I think she is.
mortal sin. So he's stuck with her. That's kind of what my read of it was.
Because she killed herself too.
Even though they don't ever get into the biblical heaven and hell thing, but it's just your inference of it.
Yeah.
But that's really the crux of the movie is creative gym kills.
But
they figure out.
But there's also really good characters in this. Outside the lead, who is the least interesting character, you've got the big black guy whose name I can't remember, who's just
Ken Foray
cool.
from Dawn of the Dead.
Oh my God, with that rainbow coat he's wearing early on.
He's got quite a coat.
And when he shows up as a genie, it culminates in a costume party at the end with all kinds of murderous things going on, which is great.
Yeah, which nobody pays attention to until the very end. People are being killed and thrown around and everything, and nobody seems to notice.
But it's a Halloween party, so no one seems to really pay attention.
Yeah, so I guess it wouldn't matter if a woman's hand gets blended for 22 minutes. Yeah, I guess that's fine.
God, yeah.
We'll just ignore it.
And there are some,
but there are some great kills in the movie. There are some spectacular effects kills. There's some very silly ones.
That the chlorine, I do like that the girl at the beginning of the movie, there's a girl who I thought was dead, and she isn't. They get her out in time.
No, she's not dead. And she's blinded, but she's not dead.
She's blinded. Well, she gets it back by the end, doesn't she?
Yes, at the very end, she's got her vision back. Yeah.
What's funny is that she's supposedly chemical burned, and then towards the end of the movie, the girl puts her in like a superheated, like a tanning bed. And I was like, God, if you still have burns on your body, that's gotta hurt. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, God. But yeah, all the kills are shit in a gym. So one girl almost dies in the sauna with like chlorine in the water.
Right.
Another girl gets the auto hook from the locker room through her head, which I thought was quite funny.
That's a good one.
And then there's
Then the tiles go flying. Nobody dies.
Oh yeah,
but
they don't kill anybody.
For some
but
reason,
they just
fly off a thing.
Yeah. And then
inexplicably,
there's a girl who gets melted by acid in the basement by the sprinklers.
In the basement. Yeah, in the death basement. That's 14
basement.
miles long and 70 blocks wide.
Yeah, and then there's an interesting detective character who's like basically a paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
And he honestly, I really like the scenes with him. Like he seems, I think when we were watching the movie, I was like, he seems quite competent.
What he reminded me of is he reminded me of the science teacher from Stranger Things, who's like, oh yeah, I can explain parallel dimensions, but he's always kind of jovial about it.
Yeah,
He's kind of always, lighthearted.
And like that guy comes to the place to check things, and like he seems kind of cool, and he's kind of hanging out. And then I can't remember how he dies.
Remember, he pulls the gun. She blows his hand off.
Fucking blows his hand off. That's right. Yeah.
And then she throws him up against the door, and then he falls down and dies.
Yeah. Yeah, the hand explodes.
But the hand blowing off is the best part of that effect. When the hand blows off, that's great. Then we get the blender hand.
The frozen fish. Don't forget the frozen fish.
Then the detective, but that's after the blender hand. So a woman she fakes her hand being blended, so of course
It's foreshadowing,
that's what's going to happen to her, and sure enough, and it goes on, and on, which is the best part of it. It never ends. Her hand is being just like, her arm should have been up to the elbow for how long she was in that blender. But it's delightful because she's just screaming and the detective is like yelling for help and nobody's helping him. And so her hand, she dies by blended hand, which based on how long it went, yeah, she probably would have bled out. So I'm okay with that one. And then the detective ends up in the freezer.
He gets sucked into the freezer.
Gets sucked into the freezer, and of all the things in the freezer to kill him, what ends up getting him is a frozen fish that flies across the room and buries itself in his neck, which is delightful.
And chomps him to death.
Yeah. And a guy is doing some kind of arm exercises and is somehow his ribs get ripped out.
That is one of the weakest scenes in the movie for me. That could have been done so well.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah, the guy's on a was it a pec fly machine?
I don't know what it's called.
It's a pec fly.
Sure.
So he's got his arms out, and the machine basically does like super weight, so his arms get ripped back. And honestly, what should have happened was they should have had like tears on his shoulder with blood shooting out. But instead he gets like weird tears down by like his abs, and I'm kind of like, I don't understand. Like, there's almost a lack of understanding of physiology there.
There is definitely a lack of it. If it was me, I would have had the things whip his arms back so fast that the whole center of his body would have cracked open and just blood would have spurted out. Like, they literally would have ripped the front of his body open in a line.
You could get extreme, but...
yeah. Well, you could do it corny, but
yeah,
it would be a lot better than what they did.
But the idea that it's a haunted spa and that she's bitter towards him and that she's like specifically targeting him.
But wait, we have to talk about the best death in the whole movie, in my opinion. Which is at the very end, a woman goes in front of a mirror and the mirror starts shimmering, at which point the mirror blows out and annihilates her body from the torso up. The whole body just vaporizes.
It's like she got shotgun blasted. Yeah.
It's spectacular. I fucking love that. Is one of the best of any movie, period. I don't care what movie it is. That is one of the best death scenes as far as the body getting blown apart. It's up there with the scanner's head. I just love it because it comes out of nowhere. You have no reason to expect this. Because none of the deaths...
The only foreshadowing for that is that she blew that guy's hand off and that thing exploded.
I agree, but nobody's death was of that scale. The closest we got is the hand blowing off. But this woman's entire body shreds off the goddamn skeleton, basically. It's just blown away. And that's the goriest thing in the whole movie, which otherwise has been relatively kind of small scale. Okay, thing goes through the head, but it's only the head. You know, hand blows off. It's the hand, then she throws her. But this body just gets fucking shredded. No. It's great.
And the movie, even outside the deaths, the movie is just weird. I mean, there's just weird decisions made. And that honestly gives it a lot of character. I mean, the main guy has this obsession with cow skulls and like vaguely Native American. So he's got it like everywhere. It's like in his office, in the house.
Never explained. It just
never
is.
Explained. Never explained. That's just his vibe. The fashion choices are very 80s. The costume party is I mean, it's such a product of its age.
There is one woman who is hitting on every guy and every guy keeps rejecting her. That one woman keeps trying to... She hits on the guy who says, no, you're beta, you're VHS and I'm beta. Then she hits on another guy and another guy. And nobody wants to sleep with this gorgeous woman.
Does
nobody.
She die or did she get out? I thought she got out.
No, I think she makes it out. She makes it out,
yeah.
Yeah. No, she makes it out, but she's never successful in consummating any type of intimate relationship.
Which is hilarious. She's lovely.
She's stunning. She looks like Kelly LeBrock, kind of. And it's like, all right, in a gym full of men, you're going to tell me none of these guys, not one, is interested? I mean, Michael, we already know he's with the girl with no eyes, who hysterically has her eyes bandaged in comical bandages
for
I
know.
At least half
for
the movie.
most of the movie. Yeah.
Yes. And that is almost, I mean, it is funny. It's not intentionally funny, but the fact that they didn't kind of... they don't ever make the bandages smaller. They don't transition to just dark glasses. She's got these giant puffy bandages on her eyes with these ridiculous glasses over them through sex scenes, through all this shit where you're like, wait a second, come on. But again, like you said, that's the charm of the movie. It's bizarrely assembled. That's the only way to put it.
Yeah, and but not
It's a great effect.
But we were talking about Howling 2, and Howling 2 is so bad that you just can't stop laughing.
No, it's not like that.
This isn't like that at all, because there is actually clever stuff in there. Like, I like the idea of the brother and twin sister fighting for the body, because at the end, I mean, basically he's trying to fight her, and what's sad is that he does die at the end. Like, to kill her kills him. You know, but the cops, like, there's a lot of personalities. Like, the two cop characters, they're almost, the guy is almost a cliche, right?
Yes.
But like the other woman who we just kept calling Detective Sergeant, or Miss Sergeant, so calling this Sergeant.
Yeah, Miss Sergeant.
Yeah, I mean, she was cool. She was neat. She had a good look. She had neat dreadlocks. Was it dreadlocks, right? Or braids?
Yeah, I think she had dreadlocks. Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah, so it's like, she seemed like a cool character. She survived. The big black genie guy.
He makes it. Yep.
There was just interesting people popping up. There was the guy who was in the background, and he always had the Flintstones workout shirt.
Yeah, Flintstones exercise shirts. Which
And it's just, there's all these little things in there. And what's funny is that a lot of that gym culture shit was still kind of around when I was using gyms like 20 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's funny.
I mean, it really is largely not. It's basically the same. It's just that it's so clearly an '80s movie because of the fashion and the structure of the gym.
Yeah, and his house.
And the idea of a computerized gym being like the high tech thing of all time in LA. It's just okay.
Yeah, and it's like, it is, and it's a big deal, and it's like he's got support, financial supporters, and this is this innovative new
investors.
thing. And,
Yep.
But honestly, that's why Death Spa and Chopping Mall work so well together, because they're both mundane places that suddenly have some kind of advanced technology. But in Chopping Mall, they're killed by the advanced technology, whereas in Death Spa, the ghost uses the advanced technology to their advantage.
Well, and it's a good comparison point also, because the thing that makes Death Spa far superior is there are more inventive kills. Even though the head explosion in Chopping Mall is a great effect, it's really the only great effect as far as a death.
Yeah.
It's the only one. Whereas Death Spa has several, depending on what you're in for. The blending hand,
Death Spa moves around too, where it's like they do leave the spa, and there is a threat outside of the spa because the brother.
It's an interesting premise, and the story makes sense. Now there's some stuff left out, but by and large, the wife was suspicious. She killed herself. She comes back. She's still pissed. She wants to take him with her because she's jealous. Like, it makes sense. Yeah. There is a logic to it. And the way that he defeats it is he shorts out the computer. And as you pointed out, they had at least the cleverness to have him put shoes on his hands when he shorts the system out, because otherwise he would be electrocuted.
I mean, someone at least took 2 seconds to be like, hey guys, if he's going to short this, shouldn't he have some kind of rubber or something on his hands to do this? Like, at least they did that.
No, there is definitely a cleverness and kind of an inventiveness to it, because it is a neat idea. Okay, automated gym, you have to come up with different deaths. Now, they could have gone the lazy route and just done stupid things, just snapping necks, or, it could have been very boring. But instead, they really did try to take advantage of the setting, the gym. So each of the kills is completely unrelated. No two are in the same room. No two are, except for the one where the guy gets the beam through his head in the sauna is a weird one because they didn't film it all that well. So it's sort of odd. Where you may not even know what's happening there. That's the only one that seems like sort of a repeat, because the black girl gets the automated thing through her, and then he gets it through the head. But nobody else dies the same way. There's different deaths, and they all relate to the gym.
Yeah.
So, that and then the guy with the rib thing, that's just like you said, somebody doesn't know how anatomy works, because it's not what would happen. But still, it's a neat effect. I mean, the rib pops out and it spurts blood. You're sitting there going, but why would that happen?
Yeah.
Okay, but whatever. It's a haunted gym, so let's stop. And I do like the idea of a possessed gym. It's a gimmick that sounds, the movie, even as we describe it, the movie's going to sound a lot dumber than it is. It's not that dumb a movie. It's just a ridiculous movie, but that's a different thing.
It is dumb. But it's dumb. But if you stop, it's like, Yeah, but what would happen if a gym was haunted? I mean, that's the thing is, all these other places have been haunted. Oh, a haunted school or a haunted house or a haunted mansion.
Well,
and things happen and you're like, ooh, but really think about it. If a gym and all its many aspects was haunted,
yes.
like Poltergeist. Let's say this is a totally serious movie, right? Being directed by Rob Zombie, right?
Right.
And it's a haunted gym spa.
Yeah.
Well, how the fuck is this haunting going to kill people?
Yeah.
It's not gonna. It's gonna be ridiculous because when people get killed by absurd things, it comes off as absurd.
And this is why I use a very specific word for this movie. I don't call it silly. I don't call it dumb. I call it ridiculous. Because there's something different about that word. It's ridiculous because you don't believe that the concept can work. And yet it does work.
Like
its
the chlorine
80s-ness is its 80s-ness.
The chlorine superheated spa thing. Yeah, that would kill somebody.
Yeah.
And the system
or
controlled
almost
it.
Kill them, sure.
Yeah, that would. Yeah, but it would have if someone had found her. You know what I mean?
But also, there's some really good lighting when the dead wife is possessing. They use these really harsh, like Dario Argento lighting, so it's got this really nice look to it. The thing with, like you said, the twin, where he's sitting there screaming as she's taking him over. There is good stuff in here, but the setting is ridiculous. The premise, as you describe it, sounds ridiculous, and yet the movie does work. It flies by and it's entertaining.
With the name of the spa, where like basically the lights short out and then it says the name of that spa. I was like, there's more cleverness in this movie than there's like any business of it being there. Yeah. Where you're like,
I agree.
Wow, this
I agree.
is more clever than it should be. I mean,
I own this movie. That's how much I like it. I bought it because I'm like, no, this is actually fun.
But it is fun, yeah. But there are stuff that you're like, okay. I mean, like the frozen fish thing is. At that point in the movie, at that point in the movie, the frozen fish thing bothers you, just shut the movie off. Because, but most people, if you get to that point in the movie, honestly, you'll be laughing by the time you get to the frozen fish.
I agree. If you've hung in with the movie at that point,
you understand.
Then you're already on board. You're on board.
You know what you're dealing with, and that thing is the movie knows who's watching at that point, and they just start having fun. And it's like, I mean, listen, he short circuits a ghost to death.
Yeah, he does.
But
he makes sure he puts his shoes on so he doesn't electrocute himself before he does it.
I know, but the movie's got its own weird internal logic, and is totally confident with it.
But it does actually, like, it makes sense.
Within
wife
itself,
wants him to join her, so she's
and she's jealous because every woman in the spa wants to fuck her husband.
The only thing that you can't think about is why the cops would not have shut this place down after the first murder. You just got to let that one go because no way.
Well,
hold on,
no, hold on.
Yeah,
the cops. Do they ever find any of the other bodies?
No, but they still would have shut it down as a crime scene.
But I'm saying
it wouldn't be open the next day.
Hold on. She has an accident in the spa, but she doesn't get killed. That's an accident, right? And if they shut that spa down, like that particular sauna, they could possibly open up. And then the only other person is the guy with the arms that the machine malfunctions, right?
Yeah.
But again, he doesn't die. So
yes, he does. He's dead. No, he's dead.
Is
that
he?
Guy died. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They show him slump over. He's dead.
Okay, because I thought that guy died. That guy just got wounded because
that guy didn't go to the hospital and get bandaged up. That guy's fucking dead. But again, I don't care. I'm just saying that.
No, I don't. Yeah, I was trying to think though if the cops had more bodies, because you're right. If there were more bodies, they would logically. But I don't think they had, because a lot of the people who die in the basement. I mean, there's at least 3 deaths, I think, in the basement.
Yeah, the paranormal guy dies in the basement. The woman dies in the basement.
And the girl that wants to fuck the main guy dies in the basement.
Yeah.
And then the girl who gets the thing through her mouth in the lockers gets sucked into the locker.
Yeah, so that
belongs to the girl with the bandages on her eyes, so she can't.
But the guy out there whose rib comes out, everybody's there. So that one's a tough one to overlook. But again,
and then by the time everyone really starts dropping, it's at the party where
it doesn't matter.
Anyway,
it doesn't matter. And even that's what I'm saying is this is a movie where the premise is interesting, it works, and the movie is smart enough that it actually becomes a very fun, ridiculous film. But ridiculous as a positive. Kind of just where you're like,
okay, I
enjoyed
this is
over the top.
It was fun. I liked it more than Chopping Mall. Chopping Mall was kind of just a horror B movie, right? That kind of movie I would watch when I was a kid, right? Yep. Not bad, just a B movie. Whereas Death Spa, there were moments in Death Spa where I was like, okay, that's funny, that's well done, that's clever.
And the movie, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever watch Chopping Mall again now that I've watched it with you. I'm done with that movie now. Whereas Death Spa, I've watched, I think, 5 times since the first time I saw it. And I own it because I kind of like it more every time I watch it. There's just something about it where I kind of
because somebody would make a movie like this and desperately be trying to match the 80s-ness of it.
Yeah. Well, the guy who did Saw is trying to get Chopping Mall remade. He wants to remake it. Now, that might be interesting. It might not. I don't know. I think it will be way too modern. I don't think it'll work. But hey,
my problem with the Saw movies is I know a lot of people love those, but I just feel like they're murder porn.
I thought the first one was clever once because I didn't know the guy on the floor was alive.
There all the time, that was it.
Yeah, that's cool. Kind of like The Sixth Sense. I only need to see it once.
The thing with a lot of these movies that we're watching, right? Because I know I'm sure someone will say, yeah, but isn't Friday the 13th or Chopping Mall, isn't that murder porn as well? And it isn't, in that you want people to survive, right? And you do not want them to suffer. I don't want them to suffer. I want them to get away. I know that there are going to be deaths, and because of when the movies were made, I am impressed by the practical special effects. I mean, they didn't CG blow up a girl's head. They blew something up and filmed it so that I was like, oh man, they blew up a head. Right? Yeah. So, and I'm fascinated by that. But you know what? She didn't suffer up until that moment. They weren't torturing her. Correct. Whereas there's a lot of these movies now where rather than focus on the oh no, she died, how will we get away? They focused on the torture of it.
Yeah, there's a 13-minute long sequence of somebody putting a clamp on her eyeball, slowly pulling it out as she's shrieking and crying, and at the same time they're peeling the skin off her kneecap as somebody inserts a corkscrew into her spine that we get to see close up, and she's screaming and bleeding. This is Hostile type shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hostile. Yeah. Murder porn. Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen any of those, but that's what that is.
Yeah.
That's what that is. And I have no need for it.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, the only movie I've ever seen anything like that I was like, no, this works, is The Cell. The Cell where he's doing the thing with the intestines. I'm like, that's the closest you can come to getting this done.
Yeah,
well.
But even that is so conceptual in that movie.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it works, because it's conceptual.
Yeah. You're in the mind of a serial killer. It's not real.
It's the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the rest of it, I don't need it. I'm okay. So Death Spa's a fucking blast. Hostile is not. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th Part 7 is fun once you get past its flaws because it's got a psychic fighting Jason. Yeah. So do I care if he cuts somebody's head off? It's a psychic fighting super zombie Jason. Please, give me a break. Whereas a lot of these other movies are presented like, this could actually happen if you go to the Middle East or something and you're not with a chaperone. You're going to die. They're going to rip your head off and shove it up your ass and then extract it with a fucking spatula. Like, they make it like it's real. These movies are not real.
Chopping Mall. What are you talking about? Chopping Mall is real. There could be robot security guards. And they'll shoot me in the head with their eye lasers.
Yeah, except the problem is the suspension of disbelief is that these robots could kill anything. Even with lasers. Because they can't hit anything with lasers. Amazing. Until they accidentally do. So, Chopping Mall, as far as the two movies, Chopping Mall, if you've never seen it, watch it once. If
you're into horror movies.
Yeah, if you're into 80s horror movies and you want to see a mall culture horror movie of a thing that doesn't exist anymore, in a way that, anyway,
and stores,
watch that.
And stores that no longer exist, mostly.
Oh yeah, and a
'Cause-
mall
and
with
actually-
a gun store with unlocked shotguns that you can
Oh
just load and
man,
fire.
no! He had an M16 in that place. Anyway,
Well,
that
yeah,
but that
that's
mall, and the thing is, that mall is a famous mall that's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
as
the
well.
Sherman Oaks Mall. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's like it's got its
The
place
Fast
in
Times,
kind of
the Commando Mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a historical thing. But also good head explosion. You know, there is that. So, you know, like I said, I would say, oh yeah, watch it.
Despot,
Watch
but
it
yeah,
once.
but
It's
the
free.
thing is, Despot is better. Yeah.
Death Spa is a movie you might actually want to rewatch. That's the difference. Chopping Mall, I will never need to watch it again unless somebody has never seen it and says, "Hey, do you want to watch it?" Sure, I'll watch it. It's not bad. I won't not watch it, but I will never seek it out on my own and be like, "I'm in the mood to watch Chopping Mall." I will never be in that mood. I will be in the mood to watch Death Spa again. That's why I bought it. And the nice part is they're both free. They're both on Tubi and a bunch of other services. So you don't have to spend anything. You can go watch these for free. And that's the best part is if you realize halfway through you don't like it, you didn't spend anything. I've watched a couple ads, but I would definitely watch it in the order we reviewed it. Watch Chopping Mall first, then go to Death Spa. Because that, I agree with you. I think Death Spa is a several notches better. It is a very fun movie of a very specific, ridiculous concept that is also so locked into its era as far as when it was made. I mean, it is so dead set into the 80s. And that's what makes it fun too. Is you look at this, you're like, holy shit, this is what everybody kind of
I wouldn't want I don't want a remake. I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they try to do with Chopping Mall, but like
well, they don't want to remake Death Spa. Shopping Mall is the one they want to remake.
I
still don't think it's going to be good.
I would rather have a clever horror director do a reboot of Death Spa. The problem is that Death Spa is interesting because it isn't straightforward. It is a weirdness to it.
That's the problem is does it work if you don't get that tone just right?
Oh, no, it would be different. If it was in the 80s, it'd be very different.
Sam Raimi could probably do it.
Oh, God. Yeah, he could.
You know what I mean? With that kind of frenetic, kinetic thing where all the gym stuff is all like he's zooming in and out and all the gym shit is like swinging around. You know, I could see certain directors would manage
it's so funny with Sam Raimi, too, because like he's such a good director, but I mean, horror... He does love horror movies. Yeah. He's so good at it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I loved about the fact that he did the last Doctor Strange movie, which is that he just turned it into such a fucking zombie fest. At the
also, can you not see that Bruce Campbell would play the cop, the detective?
Oh, yeah. He could still play
exactly
the cop,
who
too.
It would be.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah. That's that. If somebody says it's going to be remade, who would you pick? Sam Raimi would be the first person I would say. Okay, he knows how to do a movie that's set in a place, you know, and outside at times. But the haunted thing, possession, like he's done it all. This is a person for it. Let him go crazy. But if you don't have that tone correct, then I don't want a straightforward Death Spa. What's the point?
No, don't remake it. Yeah, don't remake it then. Remake Chopping Mall.
No.
Yeah.
Chopping Mall you could remake as a straight film. I mean, you're still gonna struggle with the idea. I mean, malls don't exist, so I guess it could be a thing where there's a mall that's about to be demolished and there is people in there.
No. You know what you do with this? You do it at like a Mall of America or one of these super malls that are humongous.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah, you could do that.
Because those malls and their culture still exist. Like the one in it's actually in North Jersey, which I think is Mall of America. I think it's that one has like amusement parks in it, and that was as a ski hill. So imagine all the fucked up shit you could do in a mall like that.
Yeah.
Ski deaths, amusement park deaths, water park deaths.
And we should say that's one other thing Chopping Mall didn't do that it probably should have was to use like themed stores for the kills to be kind of themed to them.
Yeah.
Because the only one that really gets used is the paint store is a bomb. That's what they do, a bomb.
Chopping Mall was missing. It needed more fun. It needed deaths that were so ridiculous. And the thing is, it's not like the robots in Chopping Mall aren't vindictive. They are. They aren't systematically killing people. There is a mean streak to them. It's like they suddenly got, and the fucking robots have this voice that's like an angry New Yorker, like a digitized, like, hey, I'm online.
Show me your ID.
Yeah.
Give me the fucking ID.
Yeah. Oh, and they killed the guy from Gremlins. That was the other one.
Yeah, Dick Miller shows up to get killed. That's nice.
They electrocute his ass,
playing the Walter Paisley character from Bucket of Blood. That's the gimmick. He did that in a series of movies.
That's funny.
Where he shows up to get killed off, he's almost always Walter Paisley. So that's nice. But again, his death is kind of they electrocute him kind of. It's not good.
No, you're more horrified by whatever it is he's cleaning.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. It was like vomited cereal or something.
Yeah. So.
But you're right. That's the problem. There is that the deaths aren't inventive. The head explosion works because it's a good head explosion.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with the mall.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's why I mean, like a movie like Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. The deaths in that movie are so absurd, and right. Very graphic. But they're so absurd that they make you laugh in their disgusting randomness. I mean,
because you could have done something with the escalator. They get an escalator and the robot jams them into it or like ties them to it, and then they get chewed up.
In Hot Fuzz, when that one like building tower thing comes down on Pierce Brosnan's head,
and
just caves it in out of nowhere. You're like, oh my god,
Timothy Dalton, but you're close.
Oh, Timothy Dalton,
you still had Bond, but the wrong.
I had
Bond.
a Bond, I had the wrong Bond. There you go.
No, I understand. I get it.
But yeah, it's like
I knew exactly what you did.
But it's fun. It's like these deaths that are so over the top, and they're not focused on like, oh, the agony as we peeled their skin. They're sudden, they're over the top, and they're messy.
But they are very gory.
Yeah, well, I mean,
at times.
Yeah, but the gore
or the church thing that comes down and destroys the hot guy's head, and he's kind of stumbling around with that piece of the altar or the top of the church spire is just sticking out.
I think when it gets that gory, it's almost you no longer register it as a real thing.
No, I agree because he's like walking around with it. It's nonsense. Yeah. It's like the body's just like stumbling around for a minute or two before it falls down.
Yeah, exactly.
It saps any of the threat out of it. It's no longer scary at all.
Yeah. So I feel like
Timothy Dalton spearing himself and then going, "Oh, this really hurts." It's like, okay, you don't really notice that he's bleeding out of a hole in the bottom of his fucking face. Doesn't matter anymore.
So honestly, if they remade Chopping Mall, it'd be more fun like Death Spa. I think it would be really good.
Yeah.
I mean, I would watch.
So I agree. Of the two, remake Chopping Mall. Leave Death Spa alone. It's good as it is.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. But
there you go.
And that's it. So both movies worth watching, except one is probably only worth watching once. The other, you might fall a little bit in love with, like I did. So. And that's our 2 horror recommendations to close out the spooky month. I don't know why everybody calls it spooky month now. You can say Halloween. Do we not say Halloween now? I've seen everybody's referring to it as spooky month. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know if that's just some millennial or Zoomer thing or what.
Whatever you call it.
I don't know. I've just noticed it. I don't care.
It's a free country for now. You can call it whatever you want.
Yeah. For now. Yeah. If I suddenly in a different AI generated voice say spooky month instead of Halloween, you'll know I didn't do it.
Fuck me. I wonder how long it would take for one of us to figure it out if one of us was replaced with a
somebody would know. No, we I know for a fact.
Yeah.
A very very concrete fact that we have at least a few listeners who are not fans of AI stuff. So if there was even the slightest suspicion, I would get a message very quickly.
I think Lando's a robot.
somebody would say, "Hey man, at this like I said, we may not have
Lando hasn't talked about horse sex in a while."
We don't have the largest audience around, but we have a very communicative and attention-focused one. I know of at least 3 individuals who I talk to regularly who would, in a nanosecond, have a message to me on Discord or by email saying, "Hey man, somebody fucked with your episode." Because that shit is happening with YouTube. They're starting to see stuff going on. So somebody will tell me if it happens. Yeah. So I am not, that is one area of concern I don't have. I will be informed. So I'm just saying, if you ever notice anything like that, if for any reason you've held back, let me know. But I just think it would
be funny if, like like a nefarious horror movie, if one of us was replaced by Skynet. How long could it go on before someone was like,
not very long. Not very long.
I don't think Skynet can get weird enough.
That's what I'm saying. Is it would be.
You know what? I tell you what. I'm getting worse and worse with names. I think my brain has just stopped giving a shit about recording names. I find myself getting worse at names. If I suddenly get really, really good at names again, then you know. But you know what? For years...
When Pierce Dalton got his face pierced?
Exactly. No, but for years, I can remember, like, every name of everybody who was in like, 100 different movies. You know what I mean? Like, it was one of those things... I had this very rich movie database. And it was all kind of linked up in my head. And I think at some point my brain was like, I don't think we need that. I think you have other things to fucking think about.
I think I still just barely have that. I'm still pretty good with that. But I expect that to start going anytime.
I have other things. I have other things I'm doing as well. So it's like, there's the.
I think there's a part of my brain that can only reckon with the terrible things that happen in the real world by keeping a certain section always reserved for the trivial. I really think it's a defense mechanism.
The what's his name from Brazil? Jesus Christ. See, this is the
Terry Gilliam.
Terry Gilliam, yeah.
Jonathan Pryce.
So there's an article recently about Terry Gilliam where he did a tour of England with a reporter from The Guardian, and it was like showing them places that were like really important to him, where like they filmed certain things, where there used to be studios, and he was talking about how apparently he had a stroke at some point. He didn't realize it was a stroke, and he has, I think it's called name aphasia now, where like he'll just forget the names of things, and it's not that he doesn't know the thing, like he forgot his wife's name, and knew it was his wife, but for the life of me couldn't remember her name. And so this is the thing that, you know,
anomic aphasia.
There you go. Yeah. So like he forgets the names of things.
Great description. It's a mild, fluent type of aphasia. I didn't know that aphasias could have fluency, but apparently they can.
There's lots of different aphasias. Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Well, there you go, everybody. We've learned something new. And on that note, whatever you choose to watch or do for your weekend, enjoy it, and we will talk to you again next time. Visit OzoneNightmare.com to subscribe to new episodes, browse through our back catalog, or to find links to support the show. Follow @OzoneNightmare on Twitter for the latest episode postings and other show information. If 280 characters just isn't enough, you can always email us, theozonenightmare@gmail.com. The opening theme for the show is provided by Heartbeat Hero. The closing theme is provided by Ogre. Please visit and support these artists using the links in the show notes for each episode.